Welcome back to the channel, guys. As promised, I told you guys I would do my raid videos or my raids in a video. I will probably start some sort of like series where every time I do a raid it'll be a new episode. I can't guarantee you how interesting it's going to be. It could end up being very boring, considering that I can't open massives and I can't blow up steel walls. Really has me not wanting to raid at all, so I'm basically just trying not to lose my gear. Just try not to lose loot. I know most people would say, why don't you just donate it all for points? But I really don't feel like it. So where I'm at is my teammate is never home. He never plays, whatever, however you want to look at it. So I don't want to raid on a team with him, which means I plan to leave this team. I have not hid loot. But I have stored in my tables. I'll give you guys a quick rundown of like how I did my tables. Got the steel bars in there with the tin plates, just some sealing wax and ghost flowers, and then I hid sulfur in these, and then I got my maple pretty much stashed all around. I think 20 in there and 20 in here. But yeah, all of the tables are full, but my massives are still loaded. I have empty chests for trying to move gear in the middle of the raid if I somehow get penetrated, I guess. And I put an extra supply of gear to try and defend in here. I need to get some dispels for that box real quick. What I plan to do, since team hopping will remove my shield and make me able to be attacked, I plan to try and use this orb. It's the first time I've ever used one. I've never owned one or seen one before, but the problem that I have is it says immediately increases action time of the Totem of Protection. So like right now, if I use that, it would take me to 27 hours of protection, but I'm not really sure what happens if you use it if you don't have a Totem of Protection. Like, I would hope you get 24 hours, but you can't you can extend 0 all you want and it's still 0. So I'm not really sure how that works. So there'll be a couple cuts in this video because I'm going to leave the team and then I'm going to try and use that orb, and if that orb doesn't go well, I'm going to do my best to try not to panic. Try not to panic. We will be defending our base with everything in it, but then we won't have to do that again next time because we won't be in that team. But yeah, so without further ado, alright, here we go. Alright, so now I have no shield. How does this work? I don't even know how you use one of those orbs. I guess we take it to that totem. Alright, so now I am going to hide all of my loot. I got a couple ideas on how to do it besides just Odin's. Alright, now what I've done is I've basically made a graveyard that can hold 25 items each body. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5 rows of 5. So you're looking at 200 items that I can store right here in this mini graveyard. And then basically like another 100 over on the other, right over here in this corner of the map. You want to try and get as many of them as close together as you possibly can. Alright guys, so it's taking me almost a half hour to stockpile all of the Odin chests in the first room, other than the room with the giant. With these two here are like massive size, but with all of the stuff from my center room back at camp, I haven't put anything on the bodies yet, because I plan to use the bodies at Hell's Envoy instead of here. But we're looking at, if it takes me a half hour to carry the stuff here, it's going to take me a half hour to carry it back home. So I would say that's an hour's worth of work just to hide a couple items. Definitely seems like an expensive tax. Whereas, I mean, I don't have a steel wall to hide it behind, and I can't get into other people's steel walls, so I completely feel like it's fair to hide this stuff, but it doesn't make it easy to hide this stuff. It's still very time consuming, so it's not free in a way. I will put one helmet on that guy and hopefully not forget it, and then I'll show you guys the graveyard I made. Alright, so hopefully they don't patch it, but you just lure the monsters into a group and you kill them all in the same spot, and then it gives you 25 spaces a monster minus what they're wearing, so technically 24 spaces a monster. Um, and as far as I know, this place only resets 7 days after you use the zone, so if you don't awaken the boss, it should last, I mean, theoretically indefinitely, but I don't want to test that theory. And it's so much closer than Odin's, and there's nowhere near as much running. And technically, you could use your mount. So yeah, it's so much more convenient to just make a graveyard at Hell's Envoy than it is to carry your loot to Odin's. Alright guys, so I'm officially hiding my last bit of loot. I've noticed that when you enter this place, you get a different spawn location sometimes, so don't panic and think your stuff is lost. You just gotta run to your graveyard. So mine is over here. I'm gonna continue to load these bodies. Alright. Go back to camp, gear up. Let me put these boots in there too. I was using them just to speed up how long it took to transport everything. Alright, so the extra stash there. There's a couple of pieces of gear in my vault. And then I forgot to stash my bandages, so I'm going to split them up and put like 3 in each one of these empty massives. I mean, that way if somebody opens my massive chest, it's not like they got nothing. Maybe I can spell like an F. No, it won't let me spell FU. It was worth a try. Alright, so I'm now ready to start a raid. Before I start the raid though, I'm going to take one last precautionary step. Gonna grab, let's see, 17 shock traps and start placing them. Alright, so I basically just stuck the 17 traps in random places around the base, and then we're going to go ahead and officially start this bad boy. So hopefully I didn't forget anything. If so, we can cry later. Again, I don't know how interesting the raid will end up being, but if it takes a while to find a raid, I will just skip to the raid. Alright, so we got 2 people. That's not cool. But we're gonna do our best to fend off these bastards and hopefully not lose our Jorgen helmet. Since they're low level, I feel like our fire traps could come in handy. Let's get putting those everywhere. I mean, if no one comes to my base, I can't say that I'll be upset, but I highly doubt it when it's a 2v1. So we got 17 minutes to kill. I've almost placed 20 fire traps. Alright, I'm gonna go get one more stack of fire traps in case they decide to come to my base. I want to be able to make sure we're at least getting value out of them, whereas those I just laid were a complete waste. Alright, so my camp is under attack finally. It looks like they're over here somewhere. Oh, he's in blue gear. He doesn't stand a chance. I guess my goal will be to stick a shock trap on the side of the wall and then just shoot his ass and hammer him when he tries to run away. If he dispels, just back off of him. I don't know where I'm under attack. So far, it looks like all my walls are still intact. I need to find or make a better build mode and family mode actions are not available when other players are in your camp during a raid. These functions will be available again sometime after the player leaves. Okay, so it's looking like first raid, first episode, very boring for the audience, but very easy for me. Alright, so that officially was a waste of 3 hours of my life flushed down the toilet. The 3 hours I'm basically considering the 20 minutes for the raid of waiting, and then an hour and 40 minutes of moving my stuff out of camp and then back to camp. When you combine both, so yeah, assuming they were going to try and raid me with blue, I don't think they would have stood a chance, but who knows? That's the thing about raid is you don't know what you're gonna get paired with. So you could get paired against somebody who could clean your house, or you could get paired against somebody who can't even get into your house. So my guess is they came, they seen that I had all level 2 walls around my base, and was like, I'm not even. He says puss. Well, I guess in a sense, I don't want to raid. I looked at this game as raid was going to be the end game content. The fact that they twist my hand and force me, once I can make the lockpicks to open a massive, I think we'll give offensive raiding a chance. But until then, I'm just gonna defend every week when we do this raid video. So I mean, am I the puss or are they the puss? If I mean, I don't want to raid, so I stayed home and waited to protect my base, so I don't really consider that a puss. But if you did want to raid and you didn't even come to my base and try, then technically that would be a puss. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, hope everybody learned how to make a Hell's Envoy graveyard. And I will also be adding a video to the channel on that. So basically, this was, a duplicate of that video. But anyway, thanks to everyone who watches my channel. And feel free to check out Old School RuneScape Mobile. That's where I've been spending all my time. All I plan to do on this game is log in every day and collect silver from the silver quest, and then do a raid once a week. So hopefully it'll keep getting easier and easier to do the raid, and then we'll see where the game goes update wise. Later. Alright, so I just finished my raid, and now I have a 96-hour shield, and I just wanted to show you guys that the graveyard is still here. It didn't go anywhere. Well, that guy just went somewhere because I accidentally collected his body, but yeah.